And also, I don't feel bad for these guys. I really don't. You shouldn't have been scamming. And now you have all Americans everywhere coming in here trying to figure out what's actually going on.
Dog. If they are scamming, let the actual investigators conduct a investigation. What the fuck? This is not how this goes, man. This is not how anything goes. This is just pure fucking anarchy. What are we doing?
On here. The sign was fixed a few days ago. It actually says Learning Center now. Well,
Trump pardoning the guy guilty of billions in Medicare fraud. This is fine, but little girl speaking, oh hell no.
There's no response for this at all. That's crazy. Wow. Wow. That's sad. Really. Is you got people like this. You just ask a simple question. You can't even answer the question. Oh, okay. He typed something. What do you type? I hear a lot about this girl in the immigrant community. I guess you're worried about the fraud from Trump has ever conducted himself. No, now you're changing what you're saying. When did I ever say that I was okay? Or that the guy pardoning him is fine? Like, what do you think that I think about that? It's a simple question.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about some other shit. I asked you a simple question. Why can't you just answer the question?
Oh no, you're getting people. You're getting wait.
When did I ever say that?
Wait.
You're gonna put words in my mouth and get mad at him. I mean, like,
oh shit, you don't like it when other people do this to you. Damn. This is professionally what you do to me.
You want to demonize an immigrant community when you lose sight of the real issues in this country? Yeah, because they're scamming us. That's what's happening. I mean, are they not scamming?
How much time and emphasis has ASMONGOLD placed on criticizing Big Daddy Trump, pardoning all these fucking fraudsters?
No, it's not changing shit around. It's paying attention to real problems. So let me get this straight. You don't think that it's a real problem that you have an entire community in an area that's defrauding the government for billions of dollars? You don't think that's a problem?
Type in chat. He claims you're a mod. No, I can't. I got banned in his chat. Look. Oh, really? Wait. They unbanned me. That, like, I'm a VIP now. They unbanned me, I guess. I was banned until, like, recently.
Of their country.
I used to be a mod.
I untimed him out. It's okay.
He unbanned me and then VIP'd me, it seems.
I mean, doesn't that seem odd? He's arguing with the optics of your opinion, not the opinion. Yeah, I don't give a shit about, like, oh, wow, it's an immigrant community. I don't give a shit about that. Why would I care about that? They're scamming.
I like that it's now all Somalis and not the specific people doing the fraud. Interesting. I mean, it's always been the case. That's always been what it is. When someone actually directly asks that question, though, he'll be like, oh, well, you know, I'm just talking about the people who are doing it. I'm just talking about the people who I'm suspecting of doing it. Okay? But that's what it is.
What do you think I would want to do with them? Jail? No. Fraud in any capacity is bad, but to shine a light on a community that's a little drop in the bucket compared to the actual fraud going on Untethered is misled because people like you in the media pick up attack these different communities. So is it bad or so it's bad? Okay,
everybody thinks it's bad when fraud is happening, whether it's a Somali American doing it or a white American doing it. Your hyper focus and your priorities and the way that you talk about it, obviously, makes it seem as though you feel the entire Somali American community is responsible for this fraud. And it's a misdirection. It's a distraction away from the fraudsters in the admin.
Huge problem with these Somalian daycares and healthcare centers scamming money from the Minnesota government. Do you think this is happening?
I mean, if he's getting dunked on by chatters, of course he's not going to try to fucking have a conversation with me.
No, do you think it's happening? Why don't you go after the real fraud? I have many times. I've talked about it many times.
Really?
You're jousting with windmills. You're arguing with something that didn't happen. Do you think it's happening or not in Minnesota?
Yeah. This is so here's what's going on, okay? As soon as he is asked about his positions, he has to back into a much more reasonable position. Yes, fraud has taken place. Yes, the defendants in an ongoing fraud investigation were Somali Americans, right? This is true. This is real. Except what has been going on for the last 48 hours, for the last 76 hours in the media cycle is not specifically the investigation that took place. It's the notion that every single Somali is responsible. Every single Somali business is victim to unlimited harassment now
of other communities doing.
And
the
he just
same
keeps
thing.
shifting
So,
back and
for
forth
example, when
to
you
try to
see
present an
the
argument that it's
a
actually the
representative
grifter
sample
third
of
worlders
the
that are
actual
parasitic, that are just
Now,
here to
I
steal
don't know if you've ever been
American
around-
funds.
I don't want to read this anymore, Hassan. If you're 100%, yeah. There's fraud in every answer agreement. You're right. You're totally right about that. Most definitely. That also includes the immigrant. No. And this is also not. Let me go back, and I want to make sure that we get this nailed down. Do you think that there is a very clear instance of a lot of these Somalian-owned daycares and businesses that are defrauding Minnesota? This is a yes or no question. Do you think that
You
this
don't
is
know
happening
that.
or not?
There is currently, as it stands, no evidence has been presented beyond just going and knocking on their doors and screaming to see the children.
Expensive a year. How long is Somali fraud in comparison to federal benefits you put out annually? A lot. And I bet if you go after that fraud, you're going to find more of it.
The real question in this circumstance is, do you have any hard evidence as to
this
all
is
of these
always what
businesses
people
that are
like this
being
do. You
visited
can't even argue
that are
it's not
engaging in a
bad
type of
thing.
fraud
You're just
that
trying to bring up
people are
something
claiming they're
else.
engaging
The
in?
reason
As
why
in,
you're
there
trying
are
to
no
bring up
children there.
something
There have never
else
been children
is
there. They're
because
simply
what I'm
lying about the
talking
head
about
count
is
and
inconvenient for you
doing it so they can get money. No
So you
child
don't
is
really
ever
give a
being
shit
taken
about
care
the
of.
fraud.
It's simply a
You
way
don't
to
care
make
about
money.
this at all. That's why whenever I ask you, like, is this happening, you're reframing my question and then answering something I didn't ask. So no, what about this? What about that? What about this other thing? Listen, like, I don't like any of it. It's obvious that this isn't a problem. So yeah, guy's a fucking retard, of course. And
wait, that's crazy. Why are the people that are coming after him in his chat infinitely nicer in their back and forth conversation than his fans that come in here? When his fans come in here, they're like, why are you a terrorist, dog abuser, piece of shit? You need to die. And like when he actually has people that call into question his worldview, it's always like much nicer. It's like walking through it step by step. I guess his fans are just much smarter than he is.
Democrat
That's
or a
probably what it
leftist
is.
or a liberal, they'd be making excuses for it. They don't give a fuck about it. The only reason why they're bringing it up is they're trying to create an artificial parody. It's the same reason, you remember, like, whenever they started trying, they were talking about, oh, they're going to prosecute Hunter Biden, and, oh, well, we want to make sure everybody's treated the same under the law. But then at the end of the day, on the last day of Biden's presidency, Hunter Biden gets a presidential pardon that's like a blank check for the last 10 years. The reason why is because they were doing that in order to create an artificial parody between the way that Trump was being treated by the justice system and also by the way Hunter Biden was being treated by the justice system. So they only did that as a show. They don't really care about the rules.
That's insane.
They don't really care about any
Donald
of this.
Trump has
So to the
infinitely
extent that you
more
engage with them as if they're concerns
instances
and
of
their
criminality that
criticism is legitimate,
wasn't even
you
prosecuted because he
lose
became
you're
the fucking
playing a
president,
game.
as opposed to Hunter Biden. Okay? And I'm not defending Hunter Biden or Biden's pardon at all. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, Biden sucks, and so does Hunter Biden. But the notion that Hunter Biden is like, it reaches the same degree of criminality as Donald Trump, who was a pivotal figure in January 6th, or even the people who did January 6th, who were all pardoned. That's ridiculous.
I'm going to pull, you're going to get pulled up too.
Let's see what this guy's saying. Do you have any
Do you
evidence that
think
there's
that's-
100%
do you
fraud
think it's
happening, or
weird that
are
they-
there some
like, do
YouTubers
you
coming
think
in
that
and
they're
asking to see
going and
kids,
there's
not
anything
saying that there
weird
isn't
about them
evidence?
asking to see the kids? Is that you're saying this is like something about how, oh, well, you're trying to see the kids. Why are you saying see the kids? Do you think that there was anything malicious or problematic or bad, that they had any sort of like weird intentions with trying to see the kids?
Yes. Yes. You can't roll up to a fucking childcare facility, whether there are children there at that moment or not, and demand to see the children, and then assume that this is like conclusive evidence that there's no kids there.
That's manipulation. No, we'll listen to what he's saying. It's okay. There's legit tons of the issues, and yes, I think that. So you think that you think Nick Shirley is like, what do you think? He's like a pedophile?
That's not the argument.
Do you think he's like a pedophile?
It could be. We don't know. I have just as much evidence of Nick's pedophilia as I do of Nick presenting evidence that these places are doing fraud. Now, later down the line, some of these places might actually be proven to be fraudulent, but that doesn't mean that Nick actually presented any evidence to suggest that they are.
You can't just roll up to a child facility, ask to see kids. He could be.
He could be a pedo. I don't know. That's the whole point.
I've never known the guy.
That's the whole point. He could be a pedophile. You don't know. That's part of the reason why you don't let random fucking random adults into an area where you, as another adult, that is you as another adult is a guardian of the state over other people's children.
You don't actually think that. You know that's not true.
It's obviously
not true. But you're just saying it because it's something that sounds bad. It's because you've used the term racist so many times. You've said racist 1,000 fucking times. You never said that? He never said that?
Just as much
guys,
evidence.
Was he implying that Nick Shirley had some sort of bad, ulterior, weird, being fucked up intentions? Was he implying that?
For these daycares having
he obviously
no children.
Do not allow yourself to be gaslit by people that want to lie and manipulate you.
For him,
it's obvious what you're doing with language.
Being
and
a pedo.
Anybody with over a
what
90
is it,
IQ
Zach
can
Raw,
see it.
right?
It's so obvious.
I said that last chatter wasn't wrong. Nick presented just as much evidence for these daycares having no children as that chatter presented for Nick being a pedo.
And people that automatically already agree with you.
Why is it? Your comparison is going to go over his head? No, I mean, seriously. If you believe Nick Shirley provided ample evidence, which is just, you know, his own personal perspective, that these places are fraudulent, then anyone saying Nick Shirley is a pedophile is presenting the same level of fucking evidence. And not only that, but they're also, not only that, but imagine if you went to wherever Nick Shirley was living in, like his home or the place that he works at, with a camera crew and consistently fucking talking about
any sort of principle. They don't have any actual argument at all. All they're trying to do is create weird insinuations and other misrepresentations in order to push an agenda that is supposedly trying to make people not think what's obviously in front of them.
His chat is noticing I'm in there, but he doesn't want to notice it.
This is a 23-year-old Mormon, and you have a bunch of weirdos like that on Twitter that are trying to paint him out as a pedophile. I mean, really, if you take a step back and you think about how deranged and weird that is, it's insane.
I'm not kidding when I say this. We have more evidence to suggest that Nick is a pedophile than all of these daycares having 0 children in them. Because we have evidence that Nick is trying to see children inside of daycare facilities with a camera. Okay? That is, unironically, more evidence of Nick's potential pedophilia than any evidence that he has presented about these daycare facilities engaging in the type of fraud that Nick Shirley was trying to claim that they were engaging in.
There's like 50 houses of these people that have a daycare, and then you can't enroll any of them. You're going in, and these people do not even speak English in a lot of cases. The phone number goes to the government office. Let's see here. Oh, the amount of kids there is not even 1/4 of what their occupancy is. And you add in all of these things together. Please, you don't have to die on this hill. It's so obviously fraud. Any rational, reasonable person knows that it's fraud. It is. I don't know what else to say. Give me 1 second. I use the bathroom. Actually, no,
you don't know what else to say because you don't have an argument.
Excuse me.
I'm saying you don't have any evidence for any of that. I'm not against that being the case. Nick never presented any of that. Once again,
these fraudulent communities, like Hasan and I have a lot of common ground with things like public education, free healthcare, all of these other things. Like he and I agree on all of these things, but you're constantly simping for these toxic, parasitic immigrant communities that are coming over here trying to defraud us. Like you really, I mean, like somebody broke into the building and they just happened to steal all of the documentation. Like, I mean, how can you even for 1 second believe that that's not an immediate fucking scam? Like,
see, this is what I mean. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how this process works.
Thinking like
he doesn't know how this process works. He thinks that that documentation is the only way to conclusively prove that there is like fraud happening there or not, implying that that documentation was actually stolen by the business owner himself. Once again, the government has access to every single person and every single child's information. That's not the only form of evidence that the government has. The reality of the matter is, if they wanted to prosecute that place, as I'm sure they will, right?
Yeah,
they'll
so
investigate the
I mean, what about the fact that they were investigated again? Your place gets broken into, and then they happen to steal all the records. I'm sorry, but if you think that's anything besides fraud,
do you think that those records are the only way to
stop
investigate this place?
I also want universal health care.
Do you realize how any
a degree
of these programs work?
I also want to expand social systems. But we can't do that in America if you keep importing people that are net negatives and scammers.
Isn't the case.
You can't do it.
You
can have mass
you are
migration of
simply
third worlders,
speculating.
or you can have robust social systems. Choose. Now, in my opinion,
do you think that those records are the only way to investigate this place? Do you realize how any of these programs work? Once again, not saying this isn't the case. You are simply speculating.
If you don't like that, too bad. So anyway, listen, let me go back down. I'll look at a few more of these. Worked in 20 years in law enforcement. Never in my years have I come across a case where they break in and just steal documents. It's obvious. It's obvious. Like, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence. Like, do you think they're going to just come out and say, I'm scamming?
Update for CNN law enforcement. Child care centers at the center of Nick Shirley's video were operating as expected when visited by investigators. The Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families said children were present on all sites except for one. That site was not yet open. The agency gathered evidence and initiated further review, noting the investigation into 4 senators were ongoing. The report by Minneapolis DCYF said.
Speculating? Okay.
The government has access to the information of every single parent, and not only every single parent, but also government has access to the info of all children and their parents' financial status.
If you had to guess between 1 and 100. If you had to guess.
What did he ask? I didn't even hear it. What did he say?
Government access to all the info of the children and the parents' financial status? Exactly. The government's in on it. That's why they should be charged too as accomplices. What's the percentage?
Wait, if he actually believes that, then wait, what do you mean? What's the percentage?
Sorry.
These places have
what's the percentage?
Income qualifications. They can't.
Bro, their daycare is their own house.
Subsidies.
I know.
Without the government looking at the parents' background, this would. What is this? Hasan, percentage of speculation? What is the question that he asked me? These places have income qualifications. They can't get subsidies without the government looking at the parents' background.
We'll give it a little bit longer.
What was the question he asked?
We'll give it a little bit longer. But no, I think he does bring up a good point. The government does have access to this. That's why there has to be a federal investigation. I think that what's happening is that they're directing the federal government to not go after these people because they want to secure the votes from this community. I think that's what's happening.
Why don't we talk then?
You have to check with the chat first. I mean, I feel like it's such a
too
simple question.
boomer
What's
to
the probability of it
type
being a scam?
fast.
Why don't we talk then? No, I'm not. We're not gonna. Oh my god, bro, you're in the chat. Can you stop?
Are you worried?
Oh my god.
We agree. No.
It's just a simple percentage.
Stop begging.
Jesus. No,
really?
I'm not going to debate. I'm not going to go and argue with you about this or whatever. Because again, if you look at all of the evidence presented and you don't come to the conclusion that there is like a 99% chance that this is a scam, you're lying. You're lying. You're obviously lying. It's so clear.
Uh-oh. They're all saying he's a pussy now. Uh-oh.
Such a debate. Yeah, it's not a debate. That's why I asked about the percentage.
What is the question that he asked me about the percentage? I didn't hear it. What was the question?
Like space to no, it's okay. He's a communist, right? Everybody gets their own space.
What was the question about the percentage?
He can't. It's against his beliefs. He answered.
Speculate on the probability of fraud.
Let me see if it did. Kind of feels like you don't want to dunk on me easy style. No, I just don't like debating. I don't debate about video games. And again, you're going to try and do the strategy. Listen, Hasan, you are the Jake Paul of debates. You have no problem gassing yourself up, talking about how much you want to debate me or debate some other, as you like to call them, slop tuber.
Watch. He's going to say
But
Destiny.
whenever it comes time to debate Ben Shapiro on capitalism or debate Destiny, for some reason, you don't really have that same attitude. So I don't really want to hear about, oh, yeah, I want to debate you. You're going to come in and be the big guy and everything like that.
I did want to debate Ben Shapiro. Barry Weiss pulled it very publicly. I don't know why. I don't know why you're saying that.
I did want to debate Ben Shapiro. Barry Weiss pulled it. Because they wanted to debate on something else.
Oh! Barry Weiss publicly said I need to be deplatformed.
Hasan, did you see what I said about that?
I need to be deplatformed.
Because I did cover it. I talked about it. Did you see it? Barry Weiss publicly said I needed to be deplatformed. Yeah, but did you see what I said?
No, I didn't see what the fuck he said. Again, he's only able to talk because he can at least control the narrative a little bit in this circumstance. But he can't control it if we're having a back and forth conversation. Even a couple statements immediately cause him to back away from his initial claims, right? And this is the reason why he wants to control the narrative. He wants to make sure that, like, at most he will respond to me chatting in his chat. Okay?
Is probably so much worse than you can even imagine. This fraud is insanely fucking bad. And I don't think that it's just with these daycares. I think it is with the entire fucking government, healthcare. It's with healthcare. It's with health and human services. It's with food stamps. It's with welfare. It's with tax write-offs.
Public-private partnerships.
Fucking everything. And if we had in my opinion, I think that we are spending close to, if not over, $1 trillion on fraud every single year. And if you don't believe me, timed out. What is this here? I think Minnesota fraud is abysmal, a byproduct of private partnerships. I want it all to be combated. Okay, good. Then that's fine. Great. Then we're on the same side.
Hyper-focusing on...
Stop trying to make this an argument about some bullshit.
No, claiming that...
Like, okay, great, good. We're on the same side. That's amazing. I'm happy.
Parasites.
Good.
Are the... Claiming that third world parasites are coming in to do
here we go.
Fraud.
Yes, and no, I might look at this in a minute. But...
Claiming that third world parasites are coming in to do fraud is
Absolutely
the issue I have
I'm saying is
with
I think that
your
it is so
claim.
much worse than what people realize. Like, I grew up, you know, I don't know really,
Hassan
like,
is
Hassan was in
garbage,
Turkey
trash.
for a while. I'm claiming that third world parasites are coming to do fraud is the issue I have with your claim.
The
Well, then maybe
overwhelming
they should stop
majority of
considered that?
migrants
Claiming
just
third world
want
parasites
to
are coming in to do fraud.
exist and work alongside
then maybe they should stop
everyone
doing it.
else. There will always
When
be
these people go and they
fraudsters,
advocate for racial,
and they
racial ethnic
should
voting,
be jailed.
they stay inside of their own community. They don't assimilate into America.
That's
they
none
send
of this
money
is true.
back home
Now
to
he's just
Somalia
all,
that funds
this
terrorism.
is all just made up shit.
And then on top of that, there will always be fraudsters. They should be jailed, of course. The overwhelming majority of migrants just want to exist and work alongside everyone else. Okay, great. Well, if you think that, then why are you trying to lump in
that
and
they-
then take the... Oh, jeez. I'm debating with Hassan now. I just
You're
realized
claiming
it. You got
they're
me.
coming
You actually
to
got
do
me.
fraud.
Okay, I can't.
You
I said it was
have
like two
no
messages.
evidence
I've actually fucking... Jesus fucking
of
Christ.
Migrants
Okay,
coming to do
one more,
fraud.
and then I'm gonna move on. Okay, you got baited. No, I've been baited. He did get me. So okay, all the migrants want to work alongside everybody else. That's great. That's lovely. That's amazing. That's really nice. So don't launder the good reputation of all those migrants that want to look good and work with everybody else and have no problems. Don't launder their reputation through these Somalian scammers. Don't do it, because I agree with you.
Doing that.
You know I'm not anti-immigration. I'm
the
not
only
pro-migrant.
one
I think some people should be able to come over here for
these
sure, but it needs to be in the best interest of American citizens. And right now it's not. When you have these people come in and you're scamming the system, they're getting these massive amounts of welfare. It's going to a private daycare in their own fucking house. They have
I like
a
that
massive
he is,
house.
by the way, he is just like working his way up to just describing how racism works, right?
How many people we could help that are Americans if we were able to take that money and give it to them. And I'm not saying I hate Somalians. I don't hate any of that. You're only saying third world parasites coming to do fraud? Yeah, exactly, because they are. What else do you call it? 89% are on welfare. What the fuck is that? Why are we bringing people in just so we can give them welfare? We have people here that are on welfare. I drove by I was like on the
They're
highway.
American citizens.
I'm driving by on the highway. I see a homeless veteran on the highway. He's got a sign painted the American flag. I've got to see this guy live on the street while they're living in a mansion. This isn't fair. And now I'm debating again.
They're American citizens, number one. I don't even know if the 89 claim is correct or not, for the
Stop
record.
defending the indefensible. What you guys are doing right now is the same as you were criticizing MAGA people for doing for Epstein.
My argument.
Not everything has two sides.
I'm not. You're strawmanning my argument.
In the same way that I supported and I agreed with you with what you were saying with Epstein, I'm not. You're strawmanning my argument. Well, you're mad at the way that I'm saying it. I don't think it really matters. Personally, you want to say it matters. I don't really give a shit.
You can see me
The point
typing.
is the problem.
I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to say...
They're not healing anything you say, and you can't type and listen at the same time. Sure. And anyway, just stop debating. That's what he does. Just stop talking to him. Yes,
his
exactly.
whole audience is like, stop debating him. Stop debating him. I wonder why. I wonder why they're upset.
If you go and you see any of this stuff, you go around in Austin or anything else, it is really, really bad. And I think that you're right that the Somali thing is not that big. It is the tip of the iceberg.
Oh!
It is not even the tip of the iceberg. It is the seagull on the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, interesting.
It is massive.
Because you've spent 76
it's in
hours
the military,
just talking about third world parasites.
It's in the IRS. It's
Every
in food stamps.
moment
It's in
that
everything.
you spend implying
and it shouldn't be defended
that
just because it's a bunch of
immigrants
people that are migrants or immigrants or
coming
from any other community
to do fraud.
But to say that there is not a problem with bringing in a bunch of people that are 89% on some sort of welfare, that's a problem.
Of fraud done by Somalis.
It's fucking
done
fraud.
in let's say
if you don't see, oh yeah,
Minnesota,
somebody broke into the building
is a
and
moment
they stole all the documents.
You're doing Elon's propaganda for him.
Anyway, so yes,
Every moment that you spend implying that immigrants are coming
That's
to
a
do
lie,
fraud by
dude.
pointing to
Yeah,
a
of
hyper-specific
course.
instance of
Of
fraud
course
done
it's a
by
lie.
done in Minnesota is the
Absolutely
moment
it
you're
is.
doing Elon's
They can't
propaganda
wrap
for
their
him.
head around the idea
Elon
that you're
Musk
going
is
after
the
all the fraud
immigrant that
regardless
is
of
doing
who's committing
fraud.
it.
Elon
Well,
Musk
I think that really, if there are people defending
the
this that were
real
not,
parasite
you know, people
here,
like Americans
but
doing this, or
you're
like some random
worried
Mormon
about
community doing this, I think that everybody
upsetting
would be,
him, I
you know,
think.
together agreeing that it's very bad. But because it's a minority community that is an immigrant community, there are people that are just,
He's not
you
reading
know,
it, but Chad
categorically defending them for that reason.
That 89% is false. Probing Trump's verbal attack on Somalis. 84% of
So
individuals
that's really
reporting
the main
Somali
problem.
ancestry in Minnesota, not just Somali.
But
wait,
they
what
live
is
in
this?
beautiful
We updated this
mansions,
article
while so many
including
Americans
information that
can't
Somali
afford a
State
house.
demographer
Exactly.
showed us. Provided to us
It's
showing
really just
84%
that
of
simple.
individuals reporting
And
Somali
if you're
ancestry in
okay
Minnesota,
with
not just
that,
Somali immigrants
I
benefited
don't
from the
think
specific
that I
public
really have to
assistance,
have the
mostly
alignment
Medicaid.
there. I think there's a big problem.
Mute him when you talk, please. Wait, he's reading it. I think
Remember
he's
the
reading
suckers
what I
who don't find a
said.
fraud like them? Yeah, I think there's a degree of that.
Have you
but,
ever
like,
seen an
are
episode
you
of Law and
really a
Order? Criminals
sucker?
often
That's
try
the
to
problem,
obscure
is that
evidence.
it's important to be able to find the fraud, but to put the blame on the people that are being defrauded, I think, is basically victim blaming. And that's the reason why you go to a CVS and everything's locked up. That's the entire reason why you go to a
Unban me and I'll
CVS,
donate to your
everything's
charity of
locked up in the
choice.
CVS. It's because all of these people, like, oh yeah, well, you know, you shouldn't have done that. Absolutely not. Fuck that. How much percent of fraud do you think Somalis commit in the United States? Probably, I would say, less than 1 to 2%. Maybe actually, maybe a little bit higher than that.
Not even. That's
but
crazy.
Very, very like if you're asking like if it's a percentage,
That's insane.
A very, very low percent. I think that they are committing a very low percent. Now, per
Bro,
capita,
can't debate.
may
Lost
be
to a
very
Jewish
high,
comedian, H3 issue.
but
Charlie Kirk or Ben
collectively,
Shapiro would
it's low.
annihilate him.
And
Well,
so
can't
the
do the
reason
Charlie
why-
Kirk
and
one
that's the
anymore,
thing,
but
right?
definitely
It's like,
down
so
to do
why
Ben
even
Shapiro.
defend it?
You guys
It's
can keep
obviously
fantasizing
bad.
about it, though.
But this is the reason why I supported Doge. Like, I feel like government wasting
Zach
money
Watcher
is just a
here,
huge
but I do
problem
think that it's
everywhere.
unfair that he can
It's
talk and you
obviously a
have to
problem.
type. Even if I disagree with you, he should talk to you. There we go.
They're pissed off at Elon Musk because he saved free speech and investigated fraud with Doge. Well, they didn't even do enough of that. Yeah, come on, man. These people are not smart enough to pull this off alone. The government are the ones enabling the
He's
fraud.
actively
yeah, so
trying
I think,
to.
and this
He's
is what's
actively trying to
happening,
move
right?
away from
So I
reading
think
my
this is
comments
part
now.
Of this is part of the reward structure. Is that the
I
government
respect
allows
you
this
trying to get a
fraud
dialogue
happen
going. Asmon has
because
shown
they effectively
to his
want to
audience he's a
blind the
coward.
voters from these
I think that there are definitely a lot of people in his audience that will look at this and think ASMONGOLD is being a little cowardly. Is Kai still alive, bro? Show us the shock collar, bro. She's dead. I killed her.
Two different versions of this, right? So there's the first
And I
where
think
they're
there will
allowing
be
it to
some
happen, and I
people,
think
there will
that's
be some people in there that'll just like
dialogue.
engage in self-soothing behavior. Engage in self-soothing behavior, especially because like the moment that we start talking, if you noticed, he said he agreed with me quite a bit. And that's precisely the problem here. He doesn't want to have a conversation where he will be forced to concede on a lot of the things, because a lot of the things that he said about what my positions are wrong. So if his audience saw what my actual position was here, and then actually he had to sit there and defend what he's saying in front of someone who is a little bit more knowledgeable about what's going on in Minnesota, he would have to fold, because immediately he would be like, well, yeah, we agree, as he did, right? You're getting really good at debating. I wonder how the Clippers are going to spin him ducking you. They'll say ASMONGOLD destroyed Hasan or something like that. What is this? I watch you both for different reasons. What needs to happen is you listen to what he's saying now and actually respond later, because he's assuming you're listening even though you're engaging in your chat. Honest opinion. Why won't he just talk to me directly then? This is what doesn't make any sense, because I'm willing to have this conversation. He's the only one who doesn't want to have this conversation. And I think like
specific group, I think that for Somalians, like, yeah, they are voting as a bloc, but the reality is that this would happen anywhere. And I think that there is a unspoken rule kind of that keep the gravy going and we're going to keep voting for you. And it's ironically another version of Republicans cutting taxes for rich people and then rich people continuing to fund Republicans. So the problem really
The thing is
that
like
when
one
all
of my
these people
worst
are voting for
qualities
this
as
group,
far as
the
like
reason
debating
why
or
is
whatever,
because
one of
this
my
group
worst
is making
qualities
sure
is
and
unironically
increasing
that
the
I'm
wheels for
very,
them to take advantage of the
you know, I'm
system.
very
And I think both of
conciliatory in
these
my
problems
tone
are
whenever I have this
substantial
kind of
and
conversation with
gigantic. And I don't
people,
think
even if
people
I
even realize
completely
how big
oppose
they
their
actually
worldview.
are.
So the irony is like,
So that's
I
what I
wouldn't
would
be
say.
looking for easy dunks or anything like that. I just want to actively have
Yeah,
genuinely,
in the middle is getting
like,
fucked by both.
people
Yeah,
yell at me
exactly.
all the time in my own
Tyson
community. If
Foods
you're in
imports
here
workers to
for the
kill
first time
unions and
ever,
hires
you'll know
undocumented
this,
people
but
and helps them around the
people
law to
actually
hire them and
come
also
to my
work for them
community
all
and yell at me all the time because I always try to
Walmart used to
fucking
give
engage
people
in good faith when I
advice
have these
on
sorts of
how to
conversations.
sign up for
And
food
I think that
stamps
like
whenever they
clip
started.
farming as a meta actually destroys any kind of good faith that could potentially happen. It makes it much easier. It makes it much easier to frame your opposition's argument as something that it actually isn't, right? And that's what it is. Like that's what he would rather continue to do. And the more I write in his chat, and the more that his community sees that, some will say it's good that you're actually not talking to him, King. We don't want you to feel insecure about your worldview. We don't want to feel insecure about our worldview. But there will be plenty of people who go, I think there should be open dialogue between the two, right? He talks about me every day. Yeah, there will be guys who go, Roach King 1, Hasan, dog abuser 0, you know?
It's still human trafficking and kidnapping. Yeah, I think so too. And I think that they need to take this is an issue. Maybe Hasan will agree with this. I think that they need to take the people that are employing these illegal aliens. They need to do a discovery process on their personal and work computers and correspondence surrounding work. And if any of them acknowledge or express a reality or a knowledge information that
But
they
the
are
solution
knowingly employing these illegal aliens,
is
I would like to see them charged for human
documenting
trafficking. I
people
would, because that's
and
effectively what they're
then
doing. And until we have these business owners,
punishing
and I'm very frustrated about this.
business
You want me to be
owners,
honest that ICE is not doing that.
but
I think ICE should
shifting
also
the
be doing that, because
blame
I don't really, and this is another thing,
to
is that
the
I don't have
migrants,
any genuine
migrant
animosity for
workers,
Somalians. I don't have any genuine animosity for Mexicans or any other people from South
helps
America or the
the
Congo or Haiti or
owners
any of these people that are coming
get
over here, right?
away
I actually
with
don't.
the
I know a lot of other people do, and
two-tier
you know, this is a
labor
contentious viewpoint that I have,
system
but my
that
viewpoint with it is actually very
depresses
simple. I don't
wages.
actually hate these people. I don't dislike
Stop it,
them.
you clown.
I just understand that they're coming here, and by doing so, they're causing us problems. But I don't view them as inherently bad or evil people. I don't disagree, but the solution is documenting people and then punishing business owners. But shifting the blame to migrant workers helps the owners get away with the two-tier labor system that depresses wages. Well, I think that really it's... So this is Hasan. That's Hasan said that. I agree with you. Actually, I do. I don't agree, because the migrant workers are definitely to blame to an extent. Like, you're talking about workers. We're not talking about Somalians at this point, right? It's the workers. I agree.
I said this is the problem with
because they
clip
wouldn't
watching,
be
because
coming
this is my
here
actual
if-
position.
Basically, like, think about it like this, right? It's a carrot on a stick. You
Hasan
have
is
the
watching you
donkey, you have
freaking
the
out. He's
horse.
such a bitch.
The
Wait, what?
horse
Am
is
I
coming to
freaking
the
out?
carrot. They're the ones putting the carrot out there. They're the ones that are creating the incentive for all of these people to come and overrun America and depress down all of our
What?
wages. And then here's the other big problem, is that these people come here, they have a bunch of kids.
think blaming
they also bring
people
sometimes their relatives. They're living off of the
for
government.
wanting
and
a better
effectively, especially
life,
through things.
just like your
Sorry, I read something. Especially through things that are like
did when they came
that
here
totally distracted
is
me.
wrong.
Like food stamps, for example, or education system. They do cost the
helps
taxpayer a lot of money. You know, these illegal aliens do.
billionaires
And they don't
keep
do it
this
directly, but they do it
current
also through things
broken
like identity
system
theft, which is extremely
alive.
common. Like, it was a very, like, I even knew people that knew people, I'm not going to get into specifics here, who would regularly go down to, Hasan's been to Austin. It's like Riverside. It's like the other side of I-35, right? It's like on the other side of like downtown.
Why is this go-to response? I
Tons of
agree, but
illegal
not
shit.
actually agreeing.
There
I don't
used to
know.
be. There's not as many now anymore.
I said, I
But,
think
like,
blaming people for wanting a
there
better
used
life,
to
just
be
like a
so
great grandparents
many
did when they
illegals
came here, is
and so
wrong
you would
and
just
helps
go
the
over there,
billionaires keep
and
this
then
current
you would
broken
just take these
system
kids'
alive.
names and their social security numbers, and because the parents
Hasan
weren't filing
gay
tax
R-word,
returns, other
redeemed
people would file
highlighted
them that were
message.
citizens, they would take care of these kids, or sorry, not take care of. They would claim these kids to get extra tax refunds, and then split the refund money with the parents. And this is the kind of stuff that, unless you've seen this stuff happen, you don't even realize that it's happening. That's it. East 1st to 15th Street? Exactly.
It's so fucking frustrating to watch this. If Zach wasn't such a screenager, you could maybe have a conversation with Hassan and realize they have more common ground than he realizes.
The business owners are the...
Nah, Hassan, they can get the fuck out of my country, so can you go back to Turkey?
Of the migration. If it wasn't for the business owners paying these people under the table, they wouldn't be here. That's the facts. That's 100% true. It happened to me.
Mega
Yep,
gay
100%.
R word.
100% on that point as well. A lot of families still do this. Of course they would. Why would they not do this? And this is the problem that I have, is that I think that there are a lot of shared values and like common goals that even Hassan and I have.
This is how ASMONGOLD presents himself as like a reasonable centrist, for the record, I think. But he's living up.
Fucking scams and this shit is
very different
really
attitude overall than what he was saying yesterday. You know what I mean? Like the parasitic migrants and all this shit.
So yeah, I'd want to. Hopefully there can be an alignment
Since Hassan is
on
watching,
these actual
can we get a free
scams,
Kaya in the chat?
making sure that we have actual Americans, real Americans
Yeah,
that
I mean,
are
I don't
getting
give a
this
shit.
money.
Yeah, free Kaya.
Real Americans. Imagine that.
We don't need immigrants. Our economy is not expanding fast enough. Current
Just
population, the American people struggling to
from
find
one
jobs.
state.
Oh my god,
yeah,
it's
billions
cope.
of
It's
dollars.
cope.
You really think it's the worst place is Minnesota? Give me a fucking break. We can also see what happens if you flood the market with new workers, looking at the effect on women beginning to work. Yeah, I mean, I don't know all the details about that, but I could see that being the case, sure. That's why I watch you.
You need to be a chatter, you need to check logs.
The thing is that if you want to deal with the problem, you have to you have to approach it from like 10 different ways. You don't just approach it from one way. You have to over $1 billion. Those committing fraud in Minnesota will be caught and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
There are no real Americans, which I meant. He meant the Europeans. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, if you are anti-fraud, as I am, you wouldn't be hyper-focusing on the fucking... I am never
voting for another Republican
the entire
until
Somali community that you are suspecting of doing fraud, implying that every single Somali person that's come here is actually a third worldist, like a third world parasite, simply here to steal funds. Okay? That's it. The reality of the matter is, even in terms of like, keep pressing him, especially on the women going into the workforce, it destroys in his Chad's tradwife stance. I don't even know what he's talking about there. HasanAbi, you worked your entire life on your fake image just to destroy it all by shocking your dog, you R-word, bah ha 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 ha. Yeah, no, everyone hates me now. The thing about HasanAbi is that he's really like, and then, but also those, but then again, you know, anyway, so that's kind of it. Nice. Wow, owned. He said women starting the working flood the market like immigrants. Wait, what? Let's see what else he's talking about.
It, and then I got distracted. Where the fuck did it go? There was a video about this, and I don't know where the hell it is.
He banned me before I could answer his questions. Thanks for going in the chat. Look at what I was trying to get. Anyway, all right. Well, he's off talking about. A chatter implied it Adolf Slop played dumb to appease. Wait, what? Yeah. The point is, it's not 89% on welfare, it's only 8%. Scroll down and see the Somalis on welfare. No, they're saying that benefited from the specific public assistance program, mostly Medicaid. So it's not even like welfare in the sense that they think it is. It's just Medicaid, right? But worth noting, Bowser said 95% of Somalis in Minnesota are citizens of the United States and 58% of them were born in the U.S. Okay? February report from the Libertarian Cato Institute using a different methodology found that immigrants consume 21% less welfare and entitlement benefits than native-born Americans on a per capita basis in 2022. That report looked at the percentage of total dollar amount of spending on benefits for immigrants and U.S.-born residents and accounted fewer means-tested programs as welfare and also included Social Security and Medicare, which are considered entitlement programs. The CIS report said that in 2022, 54% of households headed by immigrants, including naturalized citizens, legal permanent residents, and people without legal status, use one or more major welfare program. The problem with this report is, do you believe that people who are naturalized citizens are American citizens? Do you believe that people who are born, okay, do you believe that people who are born with Somali ancestry but are born on U.S. soil are American citizens or not? Now, the reality of the matter is, for programs like the CIS, they try to claim that American citizens, natural born U.S. citizens, are actually not real U.S. citizens because they were born to one or two families or one or two parents that are either undocumented or, not an American citizen at all. Okay? That's the issue. That's the problem. Those people are American citizens. And the entitlement programs are claiming that this is just welfare is also silly because it's like Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, things like that. And the idea is like, what? What are we supposed to do? If someone is of Somali descent, even if they are an American citizen, that they shouldn't have access to Medicare or Medicaid or Social Security? It's fucking ridiculous. These are programs that they're actually paying into. That's how Social Security works, for example. It's just plain racism. Okay? That's it. The way you predicted what Asmon would say. What is it?
Listen, Hasan, you are the Jake Paul of debates. You have no problem gassing yourself up, talking about how much you want to debate me or debate some other, as you like to call them, slop tuber.
Watch. He's going to say
But
Destiny.
whenever it comes time to debate Ben Shapiro on capitalism or debate Destiny, for some reason...
The reason why he said Destiny is because, one, Destiny's banned on his platform, and two, he has run a fairly nefarious cyber stalking operation against me for the last six, seven years. Okay? That doesn't mean that I'm not going to debate someone who has an opinion that is different than mine. I debate people that don't agree with my worldview with regular frequency, including high-profile people who debate all the time, including wanting to debate Ben Shapiro as well. But the reason why he said Destiny is because he's afraid of actually talking to Destiny. He could. He's a kick streamer, just like Destiny is, right? But he doesn't want to, so he'll just offer a alley-oop to Destiny's audience. Also, bringing up Charlie Kirk in this situation is really fucked up because I was about to debate Charlie Kirk and then he got killed. That's not my fault. I was slated to debate him. It's ironic because this also implies that he is just not very smart. He's basically saying oh, you want to debate me because I'm not very smart and can't actually hold, my worldview does not stand if questioned. You're such an absolute demonstrable clown. You go into Asma's chat, bait him into a debate, not listen to a single word he said while typing and talking, reading your own chat, misrepresenting everything you said during the 1% of the time. Brother, you are a stan. Okay? You're crying. You're crying in the chat. You're crying at the behest of ASMONGOLD, who seemingly didn't even have that bad of an experience when I was writing in his chat. Think about how pathetic this is. Where is the lie? Think about how pathetic that you're like a Barb, dude. You're a fucking Nicki Minaj stan. I cannot believe you're in this chat right now crying. I'm pathetic. Yes, this entire thing that you typed out is the most pathetic thing I've ever encountered. Ha. Okay. Why are you defending? Why are you defending a thing that ASMONGOLD is not even defending, right? He doesn't have an issue with it, seemingly. You have a parasocial experience here where you think you hurt my favorite content creator's feelings. I am going to go I am going to go into your chat and be like, you're fucking pathetic. You didn't listen to him. Like, that's crazy. Like, think. He has every opportunity to have a normal conversation. It's not like I'm baiting him into debate. I'm typing in his chat. He wants to have some level of power in this conversation. It's not like I'm some fucking tiny random guy either. You know, this is my realm of interest. This is what I've been doing for years and years. Clearly, I guess I have a lot of points of agreement with Asmongold, at least the way that he was. You definitely didn't hurt his feelings. Okay, but why are your feelings hurt? You know? Why are your feelings hurt? Is it that scary to have a little bit of pushback for your point of view? Is it that scary for your favorite content creator to have a little bit of pushback whatsoever, or maybe even points of agreement? And even when he obviously wanted to control the flow, even when he obviously wanted to control the narrative to the best of his ability by reducing me to typing in his chat instead of just like calling me on Discord, right? Even then, it was so much. It was such an emotional experience for you that you found yourself here crying about the perceived feelings of your favorite content creator when seemingly he wasn't that offended. Just a little bit of pushback, and he backed away from like 3 different points that he had presented. That's perhaps the reason why he doesn't want to have a conversation like this. I see this as like you wanting to remain in an echo chamber, in a hug box, you not wanting to have these sorts of opinions be tested at all. Okay? That's it. You don't want the bubble to burst, and it hurts your feelings, and you start crying and you lash out like a baby. I mean, that's what happened. You didn't like hearing your favorite content creator go, yeah, I think me and Hasan agree on a lot. And that's why you had to come in here and lash out. Don't worry. He'll continue to look at clips of me that he yells about and farm it as drama over and over again. Lash out. Yep, you're right. I'm crying right now. You're not. Lash out. Does it seem? You do understand that you can see my face and see what I'm saying and how I'm communicating right now. It's very strange. You know, there's 30,000 people in here. They can all see me, right? I don't know if you're like typing with your eyes closed or something. Anyway.